My beloved, the dragon in disguise. There is a tale told in whispers, beneath the shadowed cliffs and through the windswept meadows, of a love so powerful that it defied both time and fate. A love so strange, so wild, it could never be contained by the mere mortal world. But what if I told you this story begins with a dragon in disguise, who walked among us as a man? Let me tell you how our hearts, bound by destiny, intertwined despite the heavens themselves. If you find yourself entranced by this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for being part of this journey. It was on a night as clear as crystal, when the stars shone like scattered diamonds, that I first saw him, though I did not know him for what he was. He was but a traveler to me then, his long cloak trailing through the damp forest with a quiet grace, his footsteps barely leaving a mark on the moss-covered ground. His eyes, however, those eyes, they gleamed with something ancient, something that pulled at the very core of my soul. I had often wandered the woods in the silent hours when the world was still and the only sound was the whisper of the wind through the trees. Yet that night, I felt a pull, a longing I could not name. And so, like a moth to a flame, I followed. He turned toward me as if he had been expecting me, his smile as gentle as the moonlight. "Are you lost?" he asked, his voice smooth, the kind of voice that could soothe a storm. I had never been lost, not in these woods, but there was something about him, something in his gaze, that made my heart quicken. "No," I said, though my voice faltered. "I was just wandering." He stepped closer, the moonlight catching the edges of his features, and for a moment I thought I saw the faintest shimmer of scales beneath his cloak. But I shook the thought away, blaming the light. He was just a man after all, wasn't he? "Sometimes," he said softly, "wandering is the only way to find the answers you seek." His words struck a chord deep inside me, as if he spoke to the very ache in my heart. I had always felt like something was missing, like there was more to this life, more than the world I knew. But I had no name for it, no face to place upon it, until now. "My name is Lysander," he said, his hand reaching out to me. "And you are?" My pulse raced at the touch of his hand, a strange warmth spreading through my chest. "I? Althea," I whispered. He nodded, his expression unreadable, though his eyes glimmered with something like recognition. But that was impossible. I had never met this man before. For the rest of the night, we spoke as though we had known each other for lifetimes, of dreams, of fears, of the world beyond the veil of our small village. And with each passing word, I felt as though the distance between us closed, though I did not know how or why. Weeks passed, and I found myself drawn to him more and more, unable to resist the pull of his presence. He became a constant in my life, a figure who appeared at the edge of my thoughts, in the quietest moments. His eyes, his voice, his smile, they haunted me, and yet I felt no fear, only an inexplicable longing. And then came the night I would never forget, the night I saw the truth of who he truly was. I had gone to meet him at the edge of the forest, the place where we often spoke in the soft glow of twilight. But when I arrived, something was wrong. The air was heavy, thick with an energy that made my skin prickle. And there, standing beneath the twisted branches of an ancient oak, was Lysander. But not as I knew him. His cloak was gone, his body towering and muscular, his skin now covered in gleaming scales that shimmered in the moonlight. A pair of massive wings unfolded from his back, stretching wide like the shadow of a storm. His eyes, those eyes, burned with a fierce, otherworldly glow, and his voice when he spoke was a deep rumble, like thunder in the distance. Althea, he said, his voice a low growl filled with both pain and yearning. Do you recognize me now? I could barely breathe. I stood frozen, my heart pounding against my chest, my mind a whirlwind of confusion and fear. How was this possible? This creature, this dragon, was Lysander? Why? I choked out, my voice trembling. Why did you hide from me, from everyone? His gaze softened, though there was a sadness in it that made my heart ache. I was bound by a curse that trapped me in the form of a man, a form that I could not shed, not without great cost. But in your eyes, I saw something I could not ignore. I saw the possibility of love, a love that would break the chains of my fate. Tears blurred my vision as I took a step closer to him, the reality of his words crashing over me like a tidal wave. He was a dragon, yes, but more than that, he was a prisoner of his own form, seeking freedom in the heart of a woman who could never have known his truth. Until now. I don't care what you are, I whispered, my voice breaking. I care only for who you are to me. His breath hitched at my words, and I could feel the power within him tremble, an echo of something greater than either of us. He knelt before me, lowering his head, the scales of his neck glinting in the soft light. Althea, he said, his voice thick with emotion, will you love me, even in this form? Will you stand by me as I have stood by you through all that we face? I didn't hesitate. Yes, I said, my voice strong, unwavering. Yes, Lysander, I will love you, always. And in that moment, as his wings enveloped me in their warmth, I knew that no matter what trials we would face, no matter what dangers awaited us in the world beyond, we would face them together. For love, I realized, had the power to break all curses, even the ones that bound a dragon in disguise. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to bring you more stories filled with love, adventure, and the magic of the unknown.